Hello everyone, welcome back to the video lecture series of Basic Electrical and Electronics Engineering. In this session, we are going to discuss how to find the direction of induced EMF. Okay, so let's get started. In the previous lectures, we have discussed the Faraday's first law and second law. Faraday's first law gives the conditions required to induce EMF in an conducting material. What are the conditions required to induce an EMF into the conducting material is stated by the Faraday's first law. In the Faraday's second law states the how much EMF is induced in the conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field and rotated with a certain speed. Then how much EMF will be induced, which is given by the expression we have already discussed, that E equals to N into d phi upon dt. This is the expression for induced EMF in terms of volt, N into d phi upon dt, where N is the number of turns, d phi is the change in flux and dt is the change in time. So d phi upon dt will be change in flux with respect to time. This we have already discussed in the previous lectures. Now in this session we are going to discuss how to find the direction of induced EMF. There are two methods. One is given by scientist Fleming and one is given by scientist Lenz. First method will use the Fleming's right hand rule and the second method use the Lenz law. Let's see one by one in detail. The Fleming's right hand rule says that it states that if we stretch the thumb, forefinger and the middle finger of our right hand keep mutually perpendicular to each other. The three fingers, thumb, forefinger and middle finger of our right hand mutually perpendicular each other. When we place that, then if the forefinger, that means index finger, indicates the direction of magnetic field and if the thumb indicates the direction of motion of conductor, then the middle finger will indicate the direction of induced current in a coil placed in a magnetic field. The direction of current or direction of EMF induced in a conductor is given by this Fleming's right hand rule. It states that when we stretch our thumb, forefinger and the middle finger of right hand mutually perpendicular to each other like this. This is the thumb, this is the forefinger and this is the middle finger. Mutually perpendicular to each other means having the 90-degree angle between them. Between the thumb and forefinger 90 degrees there, between the forefinger and middle finger also 90 degrees there, angle of 90 degrees there. So they are now mutually perpendicular to each other. Now if the condition is that if the forefinger indicates the magnetic field, direction of magnetic field, that is from north to south, and if the thumb indicates the direction of motion of conductor, then the middle finger indicates the direction of induced EMF in the conductor. Okay, the middle finger will indicate the direction of induced EMF in the conductor. Here, this is the south pole, this is the north pole of a second magnet, where here south pole, here north pole is there, here north pole and south pole is there. Here magnetic field is built between this north to south pole, and these are the magnetic lines of force. What will be the direction of magnetic flux here? What will be the direction of magnetic flux here? Here south pole is there, here north pole is there. So this will be the direction of magnetic flux lines. This is the direction of north to south. This is the direction of magnetic field. So, and this is the conductor placed in a magnetic field. Okay, and this is the conductor here through which the current is flowing when the EMF get induced. And the direction of motion is what? In the upward direction. Direction of motion is upward direction. Suppose this is the A terminal which is facing towards us and B terminal which is into this slide. Okay, this is A, this end is towards us. So this will be A and B. We have to find the direction of current from A to B or B to A for this condition. Okay, there the right hand, thumb, forefinger and middle finger are kept mutually perpendicular to each other, where the forefinger indicates the direction of field. This is the direction of field from this north pole to south pole. That means this is the direction of field. Then the thumb indicates the direction of motion. This is the direction of motion of a conductor in this case. Then the middle finger will indicate the direction of current. This will indicate the direction of current. Okay. This is stated by the Fleming's right hand rule. Here the conductor is between A to AB. Okay. A is the one end, B is the one end. The direction of current here we got is from in this direction, that means from B to A. In this case, the current direction or the direction of induced EMF is from B to A. In this way, with the help of right hand, we can find the direction of induced EMF. Suppose we have this direction of force or direction of motion of a conductor in opposite direction, that is in downward direction. Then we will get the direction of induced EMF from A to B. Okay. As we change this direction of field or direction of force, we will get the different direction of induced current. Okay. In this way, with the help of Fleming's right hand rule, we can find the direction of induced EMF. Let's do one exercise here. Exercise, there are 4 cases are given. For each case, we have to find the EMF induced or direction of induced EMF. Here, see the first one. First case is what? Here north pole is there, here south pole is there. This is the conductor we have placed. One end is toward us, pointing towards us is the A point and this is the B point. And this arrow, here also, this arrow indicates the direction of motion of a conductor. And this is the conductor A to B, or AB is the conductor. Here also AB is the conductor, same conductor is placed, but here the upward direction is there, motion, direction of motion is here downward, here upward, here downward. These are 4 cases. For each case we have to calculate or we have to find the direction of induced EMF. Okay. Let's take first case. Here north pole is there, south pole is there. So what will be the direction of magnetic field? This will be the direction of magnetic field. This will be the direction of from north to south pole. So this will be the direction of magnetic field. Okay. And this is upward arrow indicates the direction of motion. This upward arrow indicates that the conductor is moving upward direction. So with the help of right hand, what will happen? If we have this direction of motion, so this will be the direction of motion, and upward, thumb indicates the direction of motion, so thumb will be upward, the forefinger from north to south pole. Then the middle finger indicates the direction of motion, and middle finger indicates the direction of motion from A to B. From A to B in this direction. Middle finger will indicate direction in this way. In this way. That means from A to B. Okay. From A to B. A end is pointing towards us. So the current is flowing into the slide or into this slide or into this paper. So that means A to B. Direction of induced EMF is from A to B. It is indicated by cross. We have 2 conventions. One is dot. This is the circle. This is also circle. Where when we place a dot in the circle, it indicates that the current direction is towards us. Okay, current direction is towards us. When it is cross, it indicates the current direction is into the paper or into the slide. Okay, into this given slide. Okay, so the current direction is from A to B, that means into the slide. So that means indicated by cross. So here cross. Let's take second case. Here north pole is here, south pole is here. So obviously the direction of flux will be this. This will be the direction of flux, and the motion is downward. Okay, the motion is downward here. So the direction of, when we place the right hand in such a way that this will indicate the direction of flux, this thumb indicates the downward motion, then what will happen? Then the middle finger will indicate towards us. The middle finger indicates the direction of EMF towards us. Towards us means from B to A, towards us. So the direction of induced EMF will be B to A. Okay, and the direction of current is towards us. Towards us, that means dot here. So place dot here. Okay, in this way we can find the direction of induced EMF. Also for third case, see, this is south pole, this is north pole. So direction of flux will be in this direction. This is the direction of magnetic flux. The thumb is in upward direction. Okay, thumb is in upward direction, and then middle finger will indicate the direction of induced EMF, which is towards us. When we do practically, then we will get this B to A. So direction of EMF will be B to A. B to A, and the direction is towards us, pointing towards us. That means it is indicated by dot. Okay. Then fourth case, this also south pole, north pole. So this will be the direction of flux from north to south pole, and the motion of a conductor is downward. This is the downward motion. So thumb will indicate downward. This is the forefinger will indicate from right to left, and in that case the middle finger will indicate from A to B. From A to B. So the direction of current will be, or direction of induced EMF will be from A to B, and it is into the board or into the slide, that is away from us, which is indicated by cross. Okay. In this way, for various cases, we can find the direction of induced EMF. Okay. Now let's discuss the second method, that is Lenz law. It states that the direction of induced EMF produced due to the process of electromagnetic induction is always such that it will set up a current to oppose the basic cause responsible for the inducing EMF. Okay. We know that there are three basic requirements to produce an EMF or to induce an EMF. First one is conductor, second is magnetic field, and third is relative motion between conductor. First and second means conductor and magnetic field. Okay. If these three conditions are satisfied, then we will get the EMF induction in a conducting material. Okay. The Lenz law states that this direction of induced EMF will be such that it will set up a current to oppose the basic cause responsible for inducing the EMF. And what is the basic cause? Basic cause is the relative motion between first and second. So it will oppose the basic cause responsible for its production. This Lenz law obeys the Newton's third law of motion, which states that every action in nature have equal and opposite reaction. Okay, and also the energy conservation law states that energy neither be created nor be destroyed, and Lenz law obeys these two laws, and according to that, the direction of induced EMF will be always such that it will set up a current to oppose the basic cause responsible for its production. Okay. So this law taken into consideration with the help of this negative sign in the induced EMF expression. We have induced EMF expression that N into d phi upon dt volts, which is given by the Faraday's law, and this negative sign is added here due to this law, Lenz law. Okay, Lenz law, this negative sign indicates that the induced EMF opposes the cause producing it. And what is the cause? The relative motion between conductor and magnetic field, and this is the inherent property of the induced EMF. Every induced EMF which is induced due to the satisfaction of these three requirements will always oppose, or which will always oppose the basic cause responsible for producing that EMF. Okay. In this way, we can find the direction of induced EMF. Okay. This is all about how to find the direction of induced EMF induced in the conductor. In the next session, we are going to discuss two different types of induced EMF. Okay. Till then, stay tuned and keep learning. Thank you.